Hey everybody, welcome back to the Blu-ray Hunter. I'm the Blu-ray Hunter, Jonathan Moody, and we've got another community challenge for you guys. I'm gonna be doing the Rad 9 horror films that scared me. Like the nine movies that scared us. Yes, that scared us. That that challenge right there. And I did the Rad 9 movies that made us and stuff, and so I'm really interested in hearing what people think of this. So without further ado, I'm not going to do this long introduction on it. I'm just going to talk about movies that scared me as mainly as a child, because there's not as many movies that actually scared me as an adult, except for the first one on my list, number 9. But aside from that, there's not that many. So, starting with number 9, the movie that actually scared me as an adult is the movie The Babadook. Now, some people will be like, "Oh man, that kid was so annoying. How could you get scared of this movie?" Um, it was like the way that the Babadook did his attacked or whatever, and he would do the Babadook, Dook, Dook. It just was very so unsettling that it would get into my head. And I went outside one night, and like right after I watched it, I walked outside. I think I was letting the dog out to go to the bathroom, and I heard that. Like I heard the Babadook, Dook, Dook, and yeah, freaked me out as a kid. Scared the bejesus out of me. Or not as a kid. As an adult, scared the bejesus out of me. So now I think the rest go into movies that scared me, especially as a child and stuff. And so the original and number 8 is the original Pet Cemetery. And it's funny, okay, so I live over by Jamestown, Virginia and stuff. And Jamestown is a Indian, Native American. I'm sorry, that's very wrong to say Native American land and whatnot. They have the whole movie The New World that's about it, and Pocahontas, the cartoon and whatnot. There are no waterfalls around here, by the way. Don't expect that. Or talking raccoons, so whatever. As far as I know, I've never come across a talking raccoon yet, but I have come across a bunch of raccoons. Um, so we have a pet cemetery in our backyard, and whatnot. And so, but they've never, and I was thinking, oh man, it's an ancient Native American burial ground. Maybe nothing's ever happened. They've never come back to life. That's a good thing, but still misleading, I guess. Next is Poltergeist. Poltergeist, the original. The original. I did not see the remake. I think they built that thing around the clown, like one little thing that was in the original movie. Um, but there was things in that movie. I like the thing that terrified me the most was like the TV set, and then there were little things that are just like so easy now to understand, like why that's not scary anymore. Like it's movie magic kind of stuff. Like one minute she's gone, next minute she looks over and the chairs are all in a different way. And I mean, that would be like a scary moment in real life. But the thing is, like when you watch it as an adult, you're like, oh, I know how they did that. It's, they cut, and then have the people put it up there. I don't know, something like that. Like makes more sense, how to make it. So, but as a kid, it terrified the crap out of me. I was like looking around my kitchen, hoping that none of the chairs would do that. And I think even Paranormal Activity did stuff like that, you know. Um, so moving on, from Poltergeist is the original Exorcist, terrifying movie. Um, so what terrified me as a kid on The Exorcist was not the girl spitting vomit at everybody, and it was not the uh was not any of that stuff. It wasn't any of the demon stuff like that. What terrified me as a kid, and scared me was the freaking Ouija board and moving around and stuff. Once again, I was a kid. I didn't know that was for me, honestly, I thought like movies were just made. Like they didn't have editing or any of these things. I didn't know that stuff as a kid, as like a 6-year-old or something watching The Exorcist on television. I just thought, oh my God, that freaked me the heck out, how they did that. Makes me happy for like parents growing up with the kids watching horror films these days is don't tell them the secrets. Let them be in fear for a while, you know. It's really good for them. It gets them more excited about the horror films. Next is Princess Bride, which you would be like, what? Princess Bride? What is that scary? That's number four, I think. No, number five. Number five is The Princess Bride. And that sounds really funny. But it's the scene with the scene that scared me as a kid and scared me, or whatever, nine movies that scared me. This was one of them because of the RUSs, the rodents of unusual size. That terrified me. Uh, those big things coming and attacking and everything and jumping. When it jumped, I jumped, and I was terrified. So there you go. You'd be like, I mean, most of these you're like, really? You were terrified of this stuff? Number four is a movie that not many people would probably bring up, but it's a movie that terrified me as a kid. I was watching it over at my friend Kenny's house, who was across the street, lived across the street with his sisters, and we were all having a fun time. I didn't have Disney at the time. This is a Disney thing, and we were watching it, and it terrified me. And so I leapt up and left the house, and it was Mr. Boogedy. Yes, that is the craziest, goofiest name, and it scared me as a kid. Like Mr. Boogedy himself, I'm not sure if it was like Mr. Boogedy or Bride of Boogedy, this sequel that really did it, but either one, those were. I mean, if you ever, I rewatched it as an adult, going, okay, I can see why this terrified me as a kid. Like nowadays, you can tell stuff or whatever, special effects and other things. It's not as scary as an adult. But as a kid, yeah, this would freak me out. So I got it. I understood. Number three, Jaws. That scared me enough not to go into the ocean for like a couple years because I was like, oh my God, there could be a shark out there, and I'm gonna be, and then just 3 feet away from the thing, and it's gonna take me and kill me and everything whatever. So I was terrified of going out there and doing that. So Jaws, good for you. So that's number three. Number two is Ghostbusters. You're probably like, what's again? You're like, Ghostbusters? How is this terrifying? If you've ever watched the original Ghostbusters, the original one from 1984, there's a scene where Dana is it getting basically Zool is coming, and Zool's head goes in the door, and all of a sudden, like it's paws and stuff grab her, and they grab her breasts too. I'm like, Jesus. They grab her and then just push, like pull her, and then they possess her, right? So I absolutely love that scene now as an adult. It's one of my favorite scenes. But when you watch it on 4K, understand it's gonna look terrible because like the dog itself looks animatronic a lot. So when it jumps or whatever, it just looks pretty bad. But when it was on like VHS and DVD, even it looked pretty good. So just now that it's like all cleaned up and everything, it doesn't look as good. And number one, the one movie that scared me as a kid, and it was because we had surround sound, and so some of the sounds would just pop out and everything. When I was a kid, was The Evil Dead. The Evil Dead is a movie that has terrified me beyond belief, and I absolutely love it. So, yep, those are my Rad 9 movies that scared me. And a lot of those terrified me as a kid. Now as an adult, once again, it's really hard. That's why The Babadook is like special to me. It's a movie that didn't really terrify me that much, but it at least got me kind of creeped out in my head. Not many. Now, I will say, like, Insidious or The Conjuring. Those things have moments where make me jump and make me whatever. But for some reason, they don't make me like scared of things, or whatever. They don't make me terrified like that stuff did as a kid. Really messed with my mind as a kid. I always believed I mean, of course, when I was like 6 and 5, I believed that freaking everything was real, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, all that, and ghosts, goblins, and ghosts. I think are I don't know. Ghosts. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother podcast. But I do kind of believe that stuff. So anyway, that's it. I guess that's about it. So if there's anything else, whatever, tell me what you guys think. What was the 9? Write down in the comments what are the 9 movies that terrified you, that scared you, because mine are just kind of fun and goofy. Or do a video on it and post on YouTube. That's what everybody else is doing. All the cool kids. All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.